I want to share with you a self-forgiveness list that I'm doing to assist me as you, as everyone else, as all life. As I'm going through separation right now, and I did about 4 or 5 self-forgiveness lists before, and it really helped me. So I want to share this with you. I'm looking at this and experimenting on it, see what happens. And it has helped me look at how my mind works from the point of view of separating from everything and everyone else to a point of oneness and equality as all life. So I found this at www.destiny.co.za, and there's a link also in my website. It's www.onenessanequalityaslife.ning.com. Okay, so here it is. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to believe that God exists. It's called self-forgiveness for God. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to think that God exists. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to want, desire, and need for a God to exist. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to believe in the unified consciousness field of mind consciousness systems, definitions, and perceptions and ideas of God. I forgive myself to haven't allowed myself to realize that the desire, want, and need for a God to exist separate from me is the ultimate act of separation within of me. It's the ultimate statement of separation within me of me. I forgive myself to haven't allowed myself to realize that the belief in a God is absolute separation of self, as me, of me. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to separate myself into the higher defined power and magnitude of an illusion-defined idea and belief as God, perceptually existing and designing the existence of such a thing within and of this world as a unified consciousness field. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to define love as God. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to define eternal infinite bliss as God. I forgive myself to have accepted and allowed myself to define trust as God. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to define peace as God, as a symbol of a dove. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to enslave myself within and as a limitation and separation by thinking, believing, and hoping that the ultimate God force exists somewhere out there, or even here within me, to help me and save me from myself, instead of me doing it for myself as myself. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to define prayer as God. I forgive myself to have allowed myself to define hope as God. I forgive myself to haven't allowed myself to realize that the perceptual believed illusionary existence of God is the manifested projection of hope that exists within me, the hope for a Savior, the hope for an answer to the question, why am I? I forgive myself that I haven't allowed myself to realize that the perceptual believed illusionary existence of God is the manifested projection of the search for reason and purpose that exists within me, the reason and purpose for why I am and why I am here, instead of realizing self as the breath of life, as the moment here, I am here. Cool. Okay, after every self-forgiveness video, I focus on my breath. I close my eyes and focus on the breath in as it goes in, pause, out, pause, for 20 times. It really helped me a lot. Cool.